I think a lot of companies feel the need or the urge to go, ooh, we do this. And it's like, if the restaurant said, and when you walk in the door, we're going to hand you a complimentary wine, it would no longer be special. Never advertise it. Never speak of it in your presentations. Fire anybody who goes out about talking about it. Let it be folklore. Let it be the mysterious word on the street, at which point it becomes expected. Disrupt it and do something else unexpected. Welcome to the Maven Marketing Podcast. Today is Maven Monday. I'm your host, Brandon Welch, and I'm joined by Caleb. Praise the Lord, Agee.
When you say, I don't know if you ever saw this movie, Nacho Libre. You should watch it with your kids. There's a part where his buddy Steven, he's got a horrible Mexican accent, so pardon me on this, but he's like, "You've not been baptized," and then he goes,
nice.
"Praise the Lord," and like sneak attack baptizes his buddy. Sorry, when you say that, I don't know why you're saying that.
It wasn't
now.
Nacho Libre.
Okay.
I heard that you did an awesome job leading worship at the Kinsman event.
Well, I was humbled to be able to do that, and I would say leading worship is a joy of mine, and I would say also it was a really cool moment. About 150 men, and it's just facilitating worship because it's a loud room, and you just start the song and let them take it over, and that's a fun time. So,
well, I missed that one, but I heard awesome things. And Caleb, if you didn't know, is many things, but a awesome musician.
People call me lots of things.
And the singer, yeah, I've called him lots of things, but he's such a good musician. And anyway, maybe we'll get to see that one day on here. Maybe that will be our. I don't know, maybe we'll sing to you for Christmas or something.
Maybe.
Hey, this is the place where we help you eliminate waste in advertising, grow your business, and achieve the big dream. We have so much to go over.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we have to do the
yeah. Did you know it's December?
Right
now?
We have to call that out. It is December.
It's December. The last month of the year. You've got, well, depending on whether you listen to this on the day it drops, I bet.
Yes.
I think you do.
Everybody.
This is the
thousands
first.
Of people.
The 1st of December. Two types of people, Brandon. Tree before Thanksgiving or tree after? Which one do you guys do in the Welch house?
Before.
Really?
As of late, before.
Okay.
Yep.
We put ours up on Friday after.
Yes, that's
every
a staple
time
for you.
That's how we do it. We decided that early on. You know who we haven't heard from in a while? Nate, the camera guy.
When's your before or after?
When's your tree go up?
Before.
Okay. How early before are we talking about? Couple weeks?
Yeah. Yes.
Yours have been up for a couple
day
weeks?
or two.
Okay.
Yeah, a day or two. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Just checking.
So, yeah, we can't wait for that stuff. Actually, we just got other stuff going on, so we just get out of the way. But hey, the next 4 weeks, this is super important. We are going to be teaching the absolute exact process we use to build marketing plans for all of the Frank and Maven clients that have grown by, double digits. We have some awesome companies that have produced 10, 15x growth with this process we're going to be teaching. We're going to do it live. When I say live, we're going to have examples, so it's not just theoretical. We're going to go through the exact steps. If you were paying us, thousands and thousands of dollars as an engaged client, we're going to give you that process over the next 4 weeks. So you are going to be able to implement it in your business. And after that, or while we're doing that, we're announcing something extremely cool, something we've been working on for better part of 2 years.
Yeah.
The Maven Method Mastermind group is launching in January of 2025, folks. Can I get a rap?
Wish I had my
horn? That's the and Nate just put that in there. He made it sound like
but I sounded so good too.
Yeah. It'll be negligible which one goes in. But hey, the Frank and Maven Maven Method Mastermind. If you are a person who's in marketing for really any size of business, or if you are selling advertising, or if you are in an agency, or if you are just generally wanting to get into the space of any kind and you are looking for support, what we find with marketing directors of the world is that they're going, man, I'm really passionate about this one thing, or I love, maybe copywriting, or maybe you're really good at social media ads, or maybe you're really good at a lot of the things, but it's a very, very lonely spot if you're running marketing for a company, or if you're in an agency or in the, media sales world, where you're the one in the bunch that's like, I want to know more how this works. I want a community of like marketing nerds. That is what the Maven Marketing Mastermind is designed for. monthly, we are going to be peeling away our team from like the work that we do that grows these companies by multi-millions of dollars, and we're going to be sitting down with you on weekly calls to go through your ad copy, to go through your media plans, to go through your website traffic, to go through SEO. Basically, any topic that you would be hearing on this episode could be a topic of a mastermind. But
yeah.
And you're going to be doing it next to other small business marketers. We have about 20 people already kind of pre-committed for this mastermind launch.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get to interact with some Frank and Maven clients and some people who have, seen this stuff happen right in front of their eyes over the last 10, 15 years that we've been working with their companies. And it is going to be such a cool community that we're building.
It really is.
So stay tuned for that. We are going to be giving away some really special opportunities for you as a Maven Marketing Podcast listener to join that at a discount. It will be very affordable no matter who you are. But who doesn't want a little better price, right?
That's right.
So,
yeah.
And just so you know, the reason we're doing that has nothing to do with, us making big money or anything like that. The agency that we have built serves our people, serves us. That is our core vocation, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But our mission is to make every entrepreneur in the world better at marketing, better at growing their business, better at making an impact, better at building culture within their teams, better at delivering the product they do for the people that they serve. And so that's why we've dedicated all the resources to this podcast and our books and the stuff you see us put out. But the mastermind is a way to take that a little further.
Yeah.
And we're bringing our team that we would normally be paying to do, other things inside the agency to you. And so not everybody can be a client. We can't serve, hundreds of companies. And not everybody is at a level where that makes sense to have an agency in their back pocket. But this is going to be your way to have the knowledge, experience, confidence, camaraderie, collaboration.
A little slice of Frank and Maven.
With strategic marketers.
That's right.
In your back pocket. So that is coming in 2025, and you will be hearing a lot more about that in the next 4 weeks while we teach you how to build your own marketing plan.
That's right.
And look at that. We're like 10 minutes in already, and we haven't even talked about the dadgun topic today. So
yeah, today we're talking about generosity.
Generosity. It's actually the most abundant thing you could choose to implement in your business. More than marketing and advertising, more than strategy or ad copy or any of the other stuff we talk about here. The concept of generosity far outweighs the impact of anything else you could do. We're going to share a little bit how that's been an impact for us and the people we serve. But quick disclaimer.
Yes.
Generosity is an attitude. We have to make the titles of these episodes like tactical in nature so you know what you're going to walk away with. But if you're here and you're on board for the topic today, know that this is not a box that you can check.
That's right.
You have to check your soul, not a box.
Oh.
Boom.
Drop them.
Drop the mic.
Can't drop these mics.
I think the type of people we attract to this podcast already understand this. I think the type of people that want a holistic view of, connecting human beings through marketing understand and believe this. This is designed to be maybe an inspiration or maybe just a little bit of idea generation for how you could pour gas on the fire that already is alive in you.
Yeah.
But generosity is a worldview. It is a matter of the heart, not a matter of I did something transactionally. However, if you do it, there are some very cool business realities that come from
That's
that.
right. That's right. You have to really watch how you approach that. So Steve Jobs says, it's not the customer's job to know what they want. It's our job to surprise and delight them.
What better company to lead that thought? Like Apple did not have to build these aesthetically beautiful machines. They didn't have to disrupt software, and they could have played in that game and been one of the IBMs or Blackberries or
could have done those like yellowing
Microsofts.
plastic. You remember those old plastic computers that had the yellow tan dinginess to them? They could have done that just like Gateway and Dell and everybody else did, but they didn't.
Yeah.
They made them different and surprised us.
They challenged the status quo. Derek Sivers, he wrote a book called The 40 Lessons of a New Kind of Entrepreneur. I'm browsing it. I'm skimming through it, but CheatGPT found this quote inside that book. The best way to make your customers happy is to surprise them with something they didn't know they wanted. We're going to talk all about that today. How to engineer unexpected generosity, what we're calling radical generosity, radical unexpected things inside your customer experience, inside your follow-up, inside your culture, inside your four walls with your team, and even your team's family and the people that they serve.
Yeah.
So
we spend so much time worrying about getting new customers. Obviously, we're in marketing. That's a lot of what we have to talk about, and even sales. And
new customers are sexy, man.
Yeah, it's like, hey, let me bring in lots of new customers. You're thinking about budgets, medias that you're talking about. You're talking about which what to do on your social media, your website, all these different things.
Clicks and conversion rates and landing pages and all that stuff.
Yeah, and we forget to be intentional with the ones who have already said yes, who voted for us with their dollars and trusted us to perform a service for them.
Yeah.
And so,
or maybe they're about to, and there's this word on the street that could precede you.
That's right.
It was Milton Hershey, I think.
The Hershey family?
The Hershey family. Give them quality. That's the best kind of advertising. Okay, so all that to say, the big idea is before you start planning your advertising and marketing, which is what we're going to be doing next week, before you do that, start planning your generosity. And we're going to pack this episode with some research and just some, there's some really powerful voices talking about this in the modern economy and the modern, business book and kind of wisdom age. A lot of companies are coming around to this. We're leaving an era of like transactional and data-driven excellence and getting back into this excellence of really just hospitality at its best. But there's a guy named Will Guidara that is probably the most famous talking head about this right now, and he wrote a book called Unreasonable Hospitality.
Yeah, he did a lot of research specifically to more the hospitality and restaurant industry, but it applies.
It applies so
all
much.
The way across.
Yeah.
And so
everybody understands the restaurant business, though, right? We can all, just immediately infer what we should do from that. His book or his restaurant was
11 Madison Park.
11 Madison Park won
Michelin
the number
star.
one restaurant in the world.
Yeah.
By the people that rate restaurants. Number one in the freaking world, okay?
Yeah, so you should read his book. You should also go see Netflix has a documentary where they have an episode about reopening after renovations or something like that. It's called, what is it, 7 days?
7 days
before, 7 days prior, or something like that. Check that out too. Crazy
Nate just put
stuff.
it up on the screen.
Okay. His research says 70% of a customer's dining experience is influenced by how they feel they are being treated rather than the quality of the food or service.
We have a restaurant in our town that is very much proof of this. Very average food. It's, I would call it like slop. Very, very famous restaurant though. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people we go here.
Okay. I was trying to figure out which restaurant. We're not going to name it.
Yeah, it's fried food. It's Southern food. And it's good. Like, if you've not been, I wouldn't steer you away.
When you
like,
grow
it's
up
an
around
experience.
it, you're kind of like, okay.
So, but they have hospitality down.
Yes, they do.
They have, they have a very planned experience when you walk in the door.
Yes.
There's kinetic. There's energy. They throw rolls at you, maybe. Yeah.
They bring things to your table.
Yes.
You don't have to wait. You just kind of flag somebody
venue.
down as they go by. It's all special.
And people rave about it because of how they felt, right? Chick-fil-A, right? Fast food. It's a chicken sandwich, right?
Yeah. Nothing special about that.
So he also talks about employee empowerment. Over 80% of team members reported feeling more motivated. Would you like to have a more motivated team? Caleb has the most motivated team that I know of, but most people I know would like to have a more motivated team. They feel more motivated when they were given the freedom to surprise and delight guests with personalized gestures.
Hey, go read the Frankly Friday from not this Friday, but the one before.
It's called Pixie Dust.
Pixie Dust. Go check it out.
Yeah. So, takeaway there, Disney empowers their team members every day to go out of their way to do something unexpected for a guest. My family happened to be one of those recipients, and it was a really cool story. You should go check it out. They call it spreading pixie dust, but you're going to do it just under the principle of unreasonable generosity, radical generosity, right?
Yeah.
But imagine if 80% of your team members were more motivated just because of something cool they got to do.
You know how hard it is to turn up motivation? It's nearly impossible.
You can't do it.
Most people can't self-motivate.
Well, you can't motivate people. People have to motivate themselves.
Yes.
But it turns out that natural fuel for motivation is giving.
Yes.
And when you give them the tools and the power to do that, to rock somebody's world, that's fun.
That is fun.
Nobody doesn't like doing that.
Is it the Ritz that has, I don't remember what their dollar limit. It's probably changed over the years.
It's multiple hundreds of dollars.
So let's say each employee has $500 at their disposal to fix any problem that a visitor has that day.
Check this out. Friend of mine went to the Ritz in one of the islands. Okay. His golf clubs, he was going there for a golf thing. His golf clubs didn't arrive.
Okay.
He didn't tell anybody. He didn't go ask for help. In the line going up to the concierge, the janitor overhears him talking about, oh, dang it, I don't have my golf clubs. That's all he said. Okay. Overhears him in the lobby. He checks in. And minutes later, knock on his door, a brand new bag of golf clubs.
Amazing.
Not loaned to him, gifted to him by the Ritz-Carlton. Nice clubs too.
Yeah.
Nice clubs, okay? And his name was on the freaking
the bag or
the
something.
the little club booty thing or whatever they call those.
Wow. That's amazing.
Isn't that incredible?
So cool. And those employees felt amazing for the generosity they got to bring.
But that's part of Ritz's culture. That's their baseline of generosity.
What if it was a part of your culture?
Yeah. Revenue growth from loyalty says that repeat customers spend 20 to 30% more on average compared to first-time diners. Repeat customers spend more. And how hard is it to get somebody to come back to a restaurant? It's like been there, done that. I can think of a lot of restaurants I went to once and haven't been back, right?
Yep.
So, that also goes to their friends and family. They bring people back and they want to spend more money with you, right?
Yeah. Word of mouth impact, over 90% of 11 Madison Park, this is the restaurant he's writing about, all of their new reservations stemmed from recommendations and stories shared by previous guests. 90% of their bookings.
Imagine if 90% of your new business came from past customers.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Well, how little would your advertising budget have to be?
It'd be teeny tiny.
Yes. We would actually really love that.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Last one. Personalized hospitality efforts increased guest return rates by more than 40% within 2 years. So more often repeat customers, and they're spending more money. So we all know generosity is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's walk through some ways. These are Frank and Maven tactics. These are also things we've borrowed from other people. And we're going to start with two principles that every tactic, there's other things you could be doing here, but no matter what it is, it has to have these two things involved. One is unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of companies feel the need or the urge to go, ooh, we do this. And it's like, if Disney ever advertised the fact that they are going to do what they did for my family, it would no longer be special.
Yeah.
If the restaurant said, and when you walk in the door, we're going to hand you a complimentary wine. It's like, it would no longer be special.
It's not special.
Never advertise it. Never speak of it in your presentations. Fire anybody who goes out about talking about it.
Yeah.
Let it be folklore. Let it be the mysterious word on the street. And at which point it becomes expected, disrupt it and do something else unexpected.
That's great.
Yeah. So it has to be unexpected and it has to be undeniably above average. What we call the bar of average. So that's expectation, but I'm saying quality. It should cost you something. It should be of noticeable value to have that sort of impact.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Those are the two principles of radical generosity. And here are the 12 ideas. Caleb and I are going to trade off on these.
Okay.
Number one, give them more than advertised. So if you're a restaurant, this is larger than expected portions, or maybe it is that special cocktail or that, hand-prepared dessert that the chef made just for you today when you walk in the door. Or maybe, this is crazy. I got a quote from this company in town, a very good company, to redo my floors. And it was an astronomical quote. Okay.
Lots of money.
You've heard the number.
Yes.
It was the price of a Mercedes and then some. Okay. And what was crazy is on that quote, there's an $80 little mop, like the Bana mop things that you can,
Yes.
buy to sweep your floors.
Yes.
And I just remember thinking they put that on the quote, and it's like whatever. I'm fine to pay for the mop if I need one.
Forcing you to buy an $80 mop.
Yeah, but here is a Mercedes, and we're going to charge you for the air freshener we put in it. Right?
You could have had a great down payment on a starter home. With that kind of money they were asking on.
And so maybe if you're in home service, it's the little doodads, it's the accessories, it's the if you're selling a car, you give them the hat.
Yes.
One time I bought a BMW, and I went there, and they gave me and my son they're like, go in the BMW store and pick up anything you want, right? The ball caps and these are expensive shirts and stuff. So it's give more than advertised. Maybe if you're a roofer, it's free gutter cleaning. Like you just call them up and say, hey, we're going to come clean your gutters next year for you or whatever. Maybe if you're in legal, it's the nice leather-bound portfolio that your estate plan comes in, or some sort of really nice hard drive to keep your stuff on, like the $100, $200 add-on they give me. That's just like, oh, they didn't have to do that.
Yes,
but I'm so glad they did. Right?
It's nowhere on the bill.
So give more.
Completely generous.
Give more than advertised.
So good. Second one, customize the experience. So you want to make it special for the person. Examples would be their favorite music is playing on the way in. We're letting you in on a couple of our secrets. When we have a new employee and we're meeting with them, we have what we call a coffee interview. It's usually off-site. And part of our interview questions, just because we love music, is what's your favorite band?
Yep.
When we drive over to the office, immediately after that, Brandon and I call the office and say, hey, put on U2.
Said band.
And then U2 is blaring when they walk in the office. And they're like, oh, this is good. Like, they don't even half the time they don't realize it for about 2 minutes. They're like just jamming and bopping. They're feeling good. And then they're like,
U2's on.
Wait.
Yes.
Did you turn this on? They're like, how did that happen? It's because it's on purpose.
Yep. We'll go to great lengths. We'll snoop somebody on social media to figure out what their favorite soda is or their favorite sports team or whatever. That's right. Coffee drink. That'll be in the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're the first time they come to you, just came from Starbucks. Oh yeah, you're taking a picture of that Starbucks label so you can have that there for them the next time, right?
Yep.
Maybe you're on a complete, first impression basis. Maybe you can't get this intel. But what if you're going to somebody's home and you, instead of just bringing your standard slide deck, what if you're putting a picture of their home in your slide deck presentation, or you're putting their favorite sports team as like a reference or something in your presentation. Customize the experience. There's a million ways you could do that, but it's generous. Yep.
Yeah.
So third, one of my favorite, call just because. Okay, you've communicated next steps after your proposal, or maybe somebody's already a repeated customer or whatever, to a non-intrusive level. Just call and say, hey, just want to let you know, I just checked in on what we ordered for you. It's still on track to be here 2 Fridays from now. Anything else you're thinking about in the meantime? Not to get the sale. Yeah. You say, anything I can do for you now. It's a 30-second gesture, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a minute, 30 seconds by the time we get on and off the phone. Possibly that could be a text as well, or maybe an email, but check in just because, all my home service people, you got to be doing that.
Yeah.
And all my advertising salespeople, all my marketing people, hey, just want to let you know, our impressions are running. Your ad's running. You fell in a really good spot last night, in the news, or I saw a really good comment on the ads we're running or whatever, something like that.
We switched out your billboard design, and I just drove by it and saw it looks great.
Yep. These could be texts or calls.
Yep.
What's number 4?
Number 4, an unrelated gift. So think of something, if there's not something that goes directly along with what you're selling, come out of left field with something completely off. So Brandon's talked about, was it a carpet cleaner or what? That his wife would bake bread. Yes. They'd bring a loaf of fresh bread.
Every time. That ain't got nothing to do with carpets.
Yeah. just bring in some bread.
Trust me, they charge enough for the carpets that
I'm sure.
they can bake the bread. But yeah. So this is different than adding value to the nature of your core service. This is an unexpected thing you're doing on top of that. What else could it be?
You could get them tickets to the local sporting event,
or a concert, or a musical in town.
Yeah.
Or, ice cream gift cards, or some sort of something fun to do with the family, something seasonal.
Yeah. Just something off the wall that would be special, generous, unexpected.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big giant candy bar, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Fifth, the forever favorite here is the handwritten note for sales, birthdays, all occasions.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you've had an interaction with them, or if there's an important event in their life, the handwritten note. Hilarious. My good friend Randy.
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking about this for years. I literally hit print on the notes for this episode, and I can show you the timestamp. And he sends me a text. He goes, "I just finished all my handwritten notes for every one of my customers this year." And he has a business that's growing like wildfire, right? They are firing on all cylinders, and this is just, he didn't have to do this. He's like the number one choice in his market right now, but he is, just because he's a generous man and he loves the feeling of doing that. And so that happened like 30 minutes ago, right before we did this.
So funny. Yeah.
But dude, sit down, take 30 minutes at the end of your week, look back at your calendar, write handwritten notes to every person that you had a significant interaction with.
Yeah. That's such a special thing. People don't.
Lost art.
It's a lost art. It's How to Win Friends and Influence People. He talks about that a lot in there. It's such a beautiful thing to. It's so easy to type, right? It takes extra work to put it in an envelope, to write it with your hands, put it in an envelope, put a stamp on it, send it to the mailbox.
Absolutely.
People love getting mail.
Everybody loves getting mail.
Yeah. It's not junk mail, real mail, but you don't get much.
I got a tax bill the other day. I didn't like that.
Yeah. Yes.
Number 6.
All right. Go out of your way to connect them to other people. We love doing this. If you hear somebody is looking for a job, you're like, oh, you know what? What are you looking for? And your next question, or somebody's got an open position, they're hiring, looking for those people in your world, in your network, to connect them, and you're genuinely helping both of them with no secondary motivation.
Yep. Or maybe somebody that needs, the service of something your clients do. Yeah. So maybe, like for me over the years, it's been car dealers. It's obviously been anything in home service or any attorney. It's like, instead of just saying, oh, you should go to so-and-so. No, go out of your way and say, hey, I want to make a personal connection. You call the person you're going to connect them to. Say, hey, I came across somebody who I think you could really help. It's okay if I either give your cell phone number or connect you an email or whatever, but you go out of your way. It takes 5 minutes to make those special connections. You give each one of them an endorsement for each other and say, you guys take it from here.
Yep.
That's so such a generous thing to do with your time. How about saw this thought of you? Our friend Tim Miles.
Yes.
Tim is a wise man. He wrote possibly the best book on customer service called Good Company. You should get a copy of it. But when you encounter, like for me, my buddy Greg out in Carolina, when I encounter anything that is Bengals related, I'm snapping a meme and sending it to him. Or it could be some weird car enthusiast, or just something that nobody else would pay attention to. Like, it's maybe the thing that makes you go, oh, I thought of them because it was something they like. No, capture it.
Yeah.
Take a picture of it.
That send button, the share button, whatever it looks like.
Yep. Grab the link, send it to an email. Saw this, thought of you. Hope you're having a great day. Boom. Yep. Right. That's generous, because that's a gesture. It's capturing something you were doing anyway. You were thinking of them.
Yep.
Brought their likeness. Like, and everybody is using, or is needing more of their thing in their life, right?
Yeah.
Talked to the friend of mine the other day. He's like, I haven't bought a motorcycle in 12 years or whatever it was. He goes, but every week I get an email of like this motorcycle dealership, their new arrivals. He goes, I stop and look at it because I like to imagine motorcycles, right?
That's right.
So whatever their thing is, like, do that. I must, like, I don't think you could do that enough. Dozens of times a week you could pull that. Any time a day you could do that. So
yeah.
What's number 8?
Number 8, give them public praise. So there are a lot of ways to give people praise. I'm rhyming right now.
Yeah.
We'll just keep it.
Ways to give them praise.
So
for all your
you can leave reviews on LinkedIn for the person or the company. You could go troll their posts and leave nice comments. Hey, you are awesome at this thing.
Man, you have the best looking kids. Or I love how polite your kids are, whatever. Like
Yes.
just next time you're in a group in front of anybody where you could acknowledge them, and don't be cheesy. Don't be a butt kisser, but
no, but when you genuinely observe that thing about that person,
yes.
then say it out loud. We don't do that enough. We notice great things about each other, and then we keep them to ourselves.
Leave them Google reviews. That's a big
Yes.
one too.
Yeah, we had somebody leave us an amazing Google review yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, Joe
Oh,
left us
wow.
a Google review.
Awesome. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. It was unexpected and generous.
Thank you,
He did
Joe.
not have to do that.
Sweet. 9, undivided attention. This is something, frankly, I did it by accident for years because it's hard to put me in a box on a calendar. But after a while, I said, Riley, there's no such thing as a 1-hour meeting. Always put a buffer time to where you're going to go over. It's not that you have to go over, but probably there's an opportunity to go over and give somebody your undivided attention.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody's sitting in front of you, they are the most important thing in your world. And you're advertising, quote unquote, the meeting is an hour long, but you are there in your own mind for as long as it takes, which could be an hour and a half, 2 hours. And they leave knowing like everything that was going on for them was addressed, right?
Yeah, that's great. I think heard a story of somebody who was working with us, and they said they were at a different agency before us. And this hopefully doesn't sound like a brag. I'm just giving an example. But this other agency had very rigid schedules. If you had a 1-hour block or a 30-minute block on their schedule, it was literally as the clock struck 12, they're closing their laptops. Thank you. And they start standing up and gesturing you toward the door because somebody else is waiting and they're like working it like,
Hate that. Yeah.
And we were coming on 2 hours in a meeting with them, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, are you guys okay on time?" And they were so thankful. They're like, "Are you guys okay on time? Like, we've been here for 2 hours. I didn't realize this meeting's gone so well." Awesome compliment. I take that all day.
Yeah.
Didn't even notice it was 2 hours in a meeting.
Yeah.
That's a side note. But they were like, "Man, at other places it was like we had to get out the door."
So important note there. Do all you're supposed to do is advertise within the time. Don't drag it out.
Yeah.
But the add-ons, the cherries on top, the icing on the cake,
Yes.
the extra, attention and love and all that stuff you give to them, make room for it.
Number 10, appreciation events. Go over the top.
Yeah.
Throw a party. Hire a band.
Dude, you're not getting a sheet cake from, Price Chopper and saying, come by for cupcakes and cookies from 2 to 4.
Piggly Wiggly.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, we're hiring the guy in town that everybody wants to go see on a Friday night.
Yep.
We're paying him his $1,000 fee to come and play music for our guests, for 50 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're calling the cool restaurant in town. It's not all about money, but it's about significance. It goes back to that original thing. It's got to be above average.
Yes.
And you should be doing this. Man, I'm thinking if you're in retail and you can't do it for like everybody, do it for your top customers. If you're in service, gosh, do it for all of them. And do it at a place do it in a way that is like noticeably generous at least once a year.
Yeah. I think the point being you're not expecting them to do anything. There's not some secret showroom off to the side where you're peddling product or anything like that. It is genuinely generous. I can't spit that out.
Yeah.
But that's the key is your motivation is not, I'm going to sell you more stuff because you came in. It is, no, I want to feed you good food and entertain you because I'm so thankful that you have given our business, you've paid my paycheck and you have helped us stay in business. And that is a beautiful thing.
We're going to celebrate. So have appreciation events. Like just do one, man, and do it well. 11, give away your secrets. I'm talking about the information. I'm talking about the stuff that they would have to pay your fee to learn. It could be blogs. It could be books or articles you write. It could be a podcast.
What an idea.
It could be in your sales presentations. And I'm not saying you have to teach everybody how to build the clock when they just want to know how to read the time. But you are taking those things that make you special, and instead of saying, ooh, I'm going to charge money for those, you have an air of generosity. One of my favorite examples of this is actually the church I go to, which is Life Church. And it's funny because last Sunday, this was actually the kind of the theme. Something like 1 million, I think it was 1.3 million churches around the world are using the content of the church this church is based in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And early on, like 20, 30 years ago when they started this, they had some really great content. They had some really good like music content. They had good like structures, and for whatever reason, like generosity was just their calling. And so they started putting all of this stuff, all the thousands of dollars and hours that goes into making a good sermon.
The slides, the intro video, all people the little banners that you would have around the place.
If you think about it in our world, it's like stock photography almost. This is kind of like stock sermon, although it's really, really high quality stuff. Yeah. And so they just said, we're going to put it on a website, and we can easily charge $20, $40, $50 a sermon, hundreds probably in some cases. We're going to give it away. And so there's a whole group of pastors around the world that content isn't natural to them like it is probably for this church.
Yeah.
Or they just don't have time or whatever. And so if you want to start a church in your living room, go steal our slides.
Yep.
It's all the work's done for you. You don't need a staff. That's an example of just being like hugely generous with your knowledge. And it's like if it's sunken cost, if it's something you've already got, why not give it away to the world? We say one of our vows to our customers is we will always give our secrets, our best stuff away for free.
That's right.
That is a mission. That's a missional vow. It's part of Frank Commitment's vision, values, and vows.
There are no secrets in our office. Our team is trained to give it away.
Yes,
like the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
It's very, very, very often we encounter a company that's not really ideal, or probably a good fit for them or us, like to engage with, either for a number of reasons. But we will always say, hey, probably not the best fit for us to work with you, but here's what we would do if we were in your shoes. And we'll spend 30 minutes to an hour on the phone with them just saying, here's what you want to go look. And I'm not advertising this. This is like the insider circle I'm telling here. Yeah. Because I do not want that to be like perceived as a tactic or things we do, but that is a calling for us.
Yeah.
To leave people better than we found them.
Every time.
So last, drum roll please.
12. Number 12. Get your customers together on making the world a better place. So we want to give to other causes.
Yes.
Something that makes the world better.
That's undeniably about somebody besides you, right?
Yes.
All these other 11, you could argue, or somebody could see some sort of connection why it helps you. But this is just flat out donations and charity.
Yep. Be charitable. Make sure people know. I think about Tom's and
I love that one.
What's the sock brand? Bombas. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
I
know.
I feel like you know what I'm talking about. One for one, basically. They essentially, if you buy a sock, you're giving one to somebody who doesn't literally have coverings on their feet. Yeah. And so, but beyond that, you probably don't have the ability to like put shoes on kids in Africa. Maybe you can do something in your backyard.
Yeah.
And help.
We have a friend who's in the roofing business, and he regularly, like, if he sees somebody in need who just literally can't fix the roof and it's leaking into the house or whatever, and it's the poor old lady or whatever, he'll just do it. And so he would never want credit for that. However, there's a time and a place where you're not doing that for self-serving attention at all. You're saying, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Nate the camera guy, so glad you let us come out to do the service for you today. Just needed you to know something really quick. We're not only going to provide you a good service, we believe it's our mission, our calling to give to others. And so when you do business with us, you're helping, and then insert the story, people like Wanda or whoever, Nate the camera guy could say, we do videos to help churches and nonprofits. That's part of our mission. Frank and Maven, we would never want attention for this, but we give websites to causes. We give large amounts of time, and we do that because that's something we can do, right?
Yeah, and we keep them up after that.
Yep, and we raise money.
Yeah.
So the story is, you're not just buying quality blank, you're helping people come out of homelessness, or restore families, or make children living in foster care less lonely, or helping abandoned kittens find a loving home, right? Those are actually all things we've done. But so you're incorporating that as a call to action to get people on board to helping you do something bigger.
Mhm.
It's not look at us and the picture of us donating this check. It's you're saying, hey, come do this.
Yeah.
We did it. You do it with us too, right? Side thing, gobeyondprofit.org had some really interesting research. Employees who consider generosity when deciding where to work has become a huge factor. Like we're still in the era of like it's tough to find good help, and everybody who's frustrated with that will be like, well, everybody wants to be paid too much, or they just want too much. They don't want to work anymore.
They're
it's
entitled.
Like, it's actually not true. They just want meaning and purpose, right?
Yeah.
But even in 2019, the number was 47% of employees say like generosity is something they look for when they're choosing an employer. In 5 years, just in that time, it's 75%. It's gone up like 50 percentage points.
Think about generosity as we just defined it, and how many different ways you could show that to your team.
Yes.
Because it means all of those things to them. Mm-hmm. So the 75% of employees who consider the generosity, they're paying attention to those signals in your job ad, in your interview process, in all of these things. They're listening because that's the only time they can, right? They're considering that as part of whether or not they want to work with you.
Yeah. A lot of ways to do that.
Yeah.
You could say, hey, we give a company I used to work for said, we'll give you X amount of days off of a year just to go serve the cause you're passionate about. It was extra days, quote unquote, off. Yeah. But that's cool, right?
Yeah, I like that.
So we should do that.
Mm-hmm.
You can have tomorrow off and go serve.
Yeah, sounds great.
Wherever you want. Okay, so we'll do a quick recap.
Yes, bring it on.
Here's the 12 tactics. Give them more value than advertised. Customize the experience. Call them with an update just because. Give an unrelated gift as gratitude. Send handwritten notes, always. Connect them with other people who can help them, or vice versa. Saw this, thought of you articles and memes. When you see something that makes you think of that person, just send it to them. 8, give them public praise, social shout outs and things like that. 9, give them your undivided attention and schedule bandwidth for you to be able to do that. 10, have customer appreciation events at least once a year, if not more often. 11, give away your trade secrets, your advice, your information, your best knowledge for free. And then 12, give to their causes. Make your community and the world they live in a better place.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm so excited for you to go do this. I know so many of you are doing this, but the focus, let's start there. Before we think about the money we're spending on anything else, let's think about the money we're spending on making the world better.
Yeah.
Giving more than expected.
Yeah.
Generosity.
I think when we shift our mindset, unfortunately, business has to be a little bit of it can be a selfish mindset, right? We have to, because we're trying to.
It takes money to sustain the mission.
Right. You have to convince people that you are the best choice to do a thing, right? And so there's a confidence, there's a pride that you have to say, come to me. You make it about them if you're writing good marketing, but it's still self-serving, right? When we can acknowledge how blessed we are to have people do that for us, all of these things are so freaking easy. They're so simple because the generosity just shows up when you're like, you are paying for my kids to get to go to gymnastics today. You are helping,
heck yeah,
my kid take drum lessons or whatever. It's like, how hard could it be to be generous in that way? So
it's not about what you can get, it's what you can give.
Yeah. And look at that. Shift your worldview. Make sure you shift. Make sure times might be tough. You might have a big tax bill coming up. You might have payroll on Friday. But I promise you can do something.
You can do something.
You can do something.
One of these 12 things you can do. Okay. Hey, we're going to give away 3 copies of Unreasonable Hospitality. And all we need to hear from you in order for you to get one of those copies, email us, mavenmondays@frankandmaven.com, and tell us which tactic you're going to put in place. And just talk a little bit about it. Just say, hey, I like this one. This is the one I'm going to implement, and here's how.
Yeah.
That's all. You'll get a copy of Unreasonable Hospitality. Great book by one of the leading voices today
Mhm.
on just like
Yeah.
awesome experiences. So.
If you're feeling crazy generous, we would love for you to leave a comment, hit subscribe, rate our podcast. If you're on the podcast app, give it some 5 stars, thumbs up, whatever. If you're on YouTube, it's it's a ping.
Yep, all
thumbs
those
up.
things. They really help. They help us reach more people.
It really does.
Help us fulfill our mission of making entrepreneurs more confident and more like prosperous in their growth, which is what we're all about.
That's right.
That is our mission. And that's why we'll be back here every Monday answering your real life marketing and advertising questions and generosity.
Hey, did we say the email address?
Hey, it's Maven Monday at frankandmaven.com.
Just making sure.
And just title it like radical generosity.
Yes.
And tell us what you're doing. Cool. Happy Thanksgiving that you just had.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Merry Christmas if you aren't planning on listening to us for the rest of the year. Tune in next week for the start of our How to Build a Marketing Plan for 2025. It's going to be awesome.
So good.
And stay tuned for the Maven Marketing Mastermind coming to you real soon. Have a great week. Oh, we got to do the thing.
Yeah, I was like...
Because marketers who can't teach you why
are just a fancy lie.
Now have a great week.